The certification process consists of two evaluations, the first being the application process and the second being the actual exam, which comprises 200 questions for PMP and 170 questions for the remaining credentials to be answered within 4 hours. This session will guide you through the application process from the preparation until the exam scheduling. First, let us start with the basic timeline of the process in order to have an overview of the duration covered from the start of the process until the application approval. To start with, you should note that the application preparation duration depends solely on you and your experience and understanding of PMI's concepts and terminologies for the related certification. Preparing the application is for most people the most daunting task in their preparations, even more intimidating than the actual exam. Knowing this, we have eased this process for you in our unique application development courses, and we encourage you to check those to ease the application process. Going the extra mile, you can send us an email prior to enrolling in order to highlight the different packages. After you finalize the preparation and fill the requirements on PMI's website, you can submit your application to PMI and wait for glory. Submitting your application is officially the first step in your communication with PMI. It needs to be completed within 90 days of the application starting process. Otherwise, it will be closed and you will need to restart it again. PMI offers you the possibility to save the application and continue filling it at your own pace. At this stage, PMI will check your application in terms of prerequisites and requirements, and in terms of project summary, program strategy, or portfolio description. At this level, they check the application completeness in terms of needed requirements and data in it. However, it is not yet forwarded to panel review. A lot of rejections occur at this step as most applicants take the process for granted until they are hit by the fierce reality. The rejection at this stage can occur for multiple reasons. We will cite a few of those. Personal or educational information for all credentials. Program strategies for PgMP, in addition to project descriptions in case you are not a PMP holder. This section is waived if you are. Business experiences or portfolio experiences for PfMP. PMI usually replies within 10 business days at this stage. In case your application is validated for completeness, for PMP, it will be forwarded to panel review immediately without notification. For other certifications, you will be notified of clearing the first part and that you need to make the credential fee payment before proceeding any further. At this stage, you might get selected as a candidate for audit. For the audit process, you will be needed to send the required documents within 90 days via mail or courier, and PMI takes between 4 days and 3 weeks after reception to check the documents and reply. Details on the audit process are included in our corresponding application development courses. After successfully clearing the audit, if you get selected, and depending on which credential you are pursuing, you will have 2 paths. For PMP, you will need to wait for the panel review to finish. As for PfMP and PgMP, you will need to pay the credential fees so that your application is submitted for panel review. This step may take between 10 to 30 business days, and sometimes double than that. Your application will get dissected looking for certain terminologies, concepts, experience aspects, and targeted examples. Here, your application may as well get rejected. Then, you will receive an email from PMI with the following reasons: lack of alignment with the project, program, or portfolio manager role, lack of examples, lack of related experience, and the most important rejection, which is plagiarism. A lot of people give their applications to their co-workers, thinking they are helping them. However, they are preparing a recipe for losing their credential and for banning their colleague. Multiple other reasons exist at this stage. However, PMI will give you another chance to reopen your application, and if you choose to do so, we'll send you an email to inform you that your application has been reopened. Pay attention. You may get only one chance for reopening your application, updating it, and resubmitting it. So in the very low probability case where your application gets rejected at this stage, you need to rework it and fill all the gaps in it as mentioned in PMI's reply. If you were not sure if you can, you need to consult experts so you can both rewrite the application and successfully pass the panel review. If you decided to skip the second review and call an end to your application, PMI will return the paid fees. You can check the corresponding credential handbook for current pricing and returns. When the application passes the panel review, you will receive a notification email, and here you have two scenarios. For PMP, you will need to pay the credential fee and schedule your exam. For PfMP or PgMP and having already paid the fees, you can directly schedule your exam. Note that you will have 1 year from the panel review acceptance, during which you can schedule your exam and take it up to 3 times. Here, you will need to keep an eye on the exam update dates. PMI update their exams approximately every 4 years. So pay attention to the dates so that your preparations won't go to waste. If you fail the first examination, you will be required to pay a re-examination fee each time you want to redo your exam. You can check PMI's website for current pricing. From start to end, the application process may range between 1 and 4 months based on your progress and the audit process if applicable. You need to reserve up to 20 hours for application preparation with the correct material, up to 120 days in case your application gets selected for audit, and up to 60 days for the panel review, which is doubled in case of resubmission. However, during this time, you will not be just sitting and waiting. Instead, you will be already preparing for the exam and studying to get your credential. For the preparations, some decide to do it solo. Others tend to reach out to an instructor to facilitate this journey. If you decide on pursuing it with an instructor, you can send us an email to check our packages. For the sake of this course, we will consider that you have finalized your preparations before continuing, as we have already covered the needed studies that need to be done. In the next session, we will be tackling the questions banks.